Hello everyone, we're back with Fate Grand Order with the Yugakhestra chapter. When we last left off, we got back into the world and we're like, yo, it's all nice and pleasant. That won't last long. 3 more days. Well, wait, did we see the calendar move? We should have, but... Okay, I see how you read the calendar now. So these are the 4 nice days, the 3 okay days, the 2 not good days, and the 1 bad day. So yep, in this quest you will form your party immediately before the battle begins. Okay. Oh, there's just more than 1 battle this time. I just recorded the last one, the Queen of the Walled Village. Cause I need time to like rest my voice, or else my throat, you know. Don't make me read too much game. No 0 APs, please. Okay, there we go. Let's day 2. Ah! Dang sacred beasts. Of all the luck running into a huge pack of them like this. Seemed luck was not on our side today. I was hoping we'd pass by them without incident, but oh well. Blocks. Loud car outside. So sorry. I was so close to them that I ended up drawing my bow in fear. Don't worry about it. Is this Lakshmibai or is this someone else? I looked at the Pokédex last time. She's the last servant we've ever been introduced to. And I mean, we're almost halfway through? I don't think we are time-wise, but we are chapter-wise. The blame is partly mine. We're forgetting how it feels to hold a weapon for the first time. I'll need to reevaluate both the technical and mental aspects of our training program. At any rate, the rest of you will hurry back to the village. Hold them off here. But, no buts. We can't risk leading them towards the village. Besides, the more commotion we make, the more likely we are to be captured by the local Paula we've been hearing rumors about. The local Paula are said to serve God directly, and have incredible power in their own right. The moment they find us, it's over. We can't let that happen. I could manage on my own if it came to that, but if you or the village caught their eye, it'd be disastrous. So I want you all to head back to Devolit ahead of me. Don't forget the supplies we collected. You can't possibly handle them all on your own. Don't worry, my plan isn't to defeat them all. I'll just be buying us time. I'm very well accustomed to trials of endurance. Besides, I already told you. I'm not human. I'm something else. Something with the power of 1,000 ordinary people. The shadow of humanity who manifested in this land by the grace of the rightful gods. I know this isn't the first time we've had to stay behind. Man, it sucks to not be able to actually drive around in our vehicle. What's the point of even having it then? You know, her not saying directly she's a servant kind of makes me think, well, I'm saying her. What if they're not actually a servant and there's something else? Don't be ridiculous. If the enemy were to find and destroy the border, the jig would be well and truly up. Camouflage function or not, we still need to make sure we stay out of sight at all times. That mad dash we made to pick up the field team during the Kali Yugas under the most extenuating of circumstances. There'll be no repeat performance. Yeah, I was just grumbling. No, you're right on this, Gordy. Oh, just a moment. You think you could stop and hide in that tall grass over there? Yes, I'll send the ore next to silent mode. Please be as quiet as you can, everyone. It's a lot of sacred beasts. Luckily, they don't seem to have noticed us. Let's stay here and wait for them to pass. They're certainly very pretty to look at. No wonder the people here call them the agents of God. Here they are, just like any other animal without any Kali around, huh? I wonder what they eat. Maybe we could use food to tame them? They eat people! They're gone. Good. Let's keep going. Shouldn't be much farther to our destination village. Whoa. I see something. That must be it over there. Thank goodness we didn't run into any trouble on the way. Like the wall they put up here. Gives the place a real freedom fighter vibe. The Mirror Beacher did say they go around fighting Kali here. If anything, I'd be surprised if their village wasn't fortified like this. Hello. Come on, hurry! It's us! Open the gate, quick! Those people seem to be in an awfully big hurry to get inside. Wonder what that's all about. Looks like we're just far away enough for a moment that they didn't notice us. But did you see? They've only been modified farm implements, but they're still carrying weapons. They really do seem to be a bit different from the people of Bichu. We may well be able to learn something new here. I think you're right. Let's go see. They're not opening the gate for it. Let us in. What's the guy saying, Monty Python? I think he's a French guy. The mustache. They're not answering when we knock either. Hey, open the gate for us. You know, most nations would be thrilled to have me pay them a visit. Let me see if I can hear anything from inside. Who was that? Someone there? Oh no. Oh, this is it. They found us. We're done for. What do we do? What are we gonna do? How should I know? There's no way we could fight them off on our own. We'll just have to keep the gate closed until she gets back. Not sure why, but they sound very agitated. I've got a bad feeling about this. My bad feelings about this sort of thing have a way of always being right. They should know that there are people inside. Since we're servants, we could probably just jump over the wall if we have to. But just because we can doesn't mean we... You there! What are you doing here? Well? A servant reading. It seems luck is with you today, Master. Of course, we aren't yet sure whether this is a good or bad luck. Whoever this servant is, they're headed your way at top speed. Be on your guard. They just jumped clean over us and landed on top of the gate. You gonna show us who it is? I mean, I'm assuming it's her, but... Yeah, okay. She has a cool hat. It's a servant we've never met before. Well, that's too bad. Would have made things a lot simpler if you already knew each other. I hate getting chewed out by strangers. It's like 100 times worse than when it's someone you know. What I'm trying to say is, this lady looks really mad at us, and maybe we should do something about that. That divine warrior. Curses. Despite my best efforts, it looks like he finally found us. You must be the ones who serve the false god. The Lokapala! I think you've got the wrong idea. Whoa, slow down. Us, the Lokapala? You must be joking. Don't lie to me. Can't be a coincidence that you've shown up now. Besides, you're already planning to invade our village by jumping over these walls. Well, I mean... I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm sure this is just a misunderstanding. I only mentioned jumping the wall to rule it out as a bad idea. So you continue to lie to me. Very well. You've finally learned of my existence, the existence of this village that seeks to end the false god cycle, and so be it. I'll run and hide no longer. The time has come to fight, and I shall rise to the challenge. Prepare yourselves, Lokapala. You will not be taking anything from me this day. Even if I must face a god, this time, I'll make sure to defend my home to the very end. Okay. Oh yeah, we gotta make a party, don't we? Question mark. She's a saber, right? Let's take Napoleon. In case you know there's anyone else. No, Ryan and Vlad in the back line works. Okay. So yeah, what's up with me? Well, I haven't done anything since the last video. I took like a 10-minute break, but... like I said, I finished watching Squid Game. I'm gonna move on to Arcane. I've heard good things about that. We'll see. But, it's just like, you know, riot and storytelling, you know. I don't know about that one. Admittedly, I haven't really paid attention to like League of Legends lore in a long time. But I heard they had an event relatively recently that was supposedly like god awful. They've had like two visual novels, the best term for it, like in their client. The first one was like a satirical dating sim. I hate those, so I didn't read it. The second one was like a lore event called Ruination, I believe, that they've been setting up for basically like past like 5 years, and from what I understand, they didn't hire the lore team to write it. The team that makes the skins wrote it, like the character costumes that you pay money for. So yeah, I was playing at the time. I was like, oh, should I read this? So I looked at what some people were saying. They're like, no, it's awful. I was like, okay, yeah, I don't care. But League just kind of killed my interest in its lore. I used to read like all the character biographies and stuff. They basically retconned the entire universe. There used to be a thing called the League of Legends in it. There's no longer a thing called the League of Legends in it. Even though some characters still talk about that. Just ignore that. The lore was like, the gameplay was actually canon, and you were like fighting to resolve like conflicts between nations. But they decided that was stupid, so they got rid of that. Which, I mean, yeah, I guess, but also like I like it when gameplay is, you know, canon and not just something that isn't canon. You know, I mean, completely separating from the story from the gameplay actually works. I think it's better than having gameplay that kind of works with the story but doesn't really. Like, trying to think of an example, like a game where like the story and the gameplay aren't related, like pretty much at all. Like, well, it's not the best example I can think of, because of recent examples. I was thinking of Elder Scrolls Online. Like, it could be worse. I was like, for example, in ESO, you talk to an NPC. Oh, quick! You gotta go stop him. So you're down a thin corridor of enemies. And it's like, oh, go stop him over there. So you run through, you know, a bunch of enemies. Oh, no, that way. Go stop him that way, you know. Well, that's not the most egregious example I can think of. Like, usually it still makes sense within the context of the story. Like, oh, yeah, you know, there would be enemies there, even though the way you handle it is annoying. I can't think of any good examples. Anyway, though, Final Fantasy V's Pixel Remaster comes out tomorrow. I've been looking forward to that. I was expecting it like a month ago. I played through 4 for the first time. And 5 is the one I'm most looking forward to. Apparently people have said its story isn't that good, but Yugakhestra likes it. Apparently people have said like 5 doesn't have like the best of stories. But it's Yugakhestra favorite, so it has to be good. If you don't know, Yukishi means Dragoon. And 07, if I remember right, that's a pun based off a character's name in 5. They introduce themselves as Rena, but their name is actually Reina. I'm sure there's... You can't think of any, you know, other cases of that happening in any piece of fiction. Definitely not, right? The joke is that this is the case with the character in Higurashi. I know it has a job system like Bravely Defaults, which I liked. 4's gameplay was pretty disappointing. Well, I mean, disappointing is not the right word. Lackluster, let's say. Because I mean, I wasn't expecting much going in. So 5 has the same system that Bravely Default and Final Fantasy 3 did. And I've heard people say it has some of the best gameplay in the series, so that's good. And she's dead. Okay. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I could have just played like a port, but the Pixel Remaster has redone music, which that's big. From what I understand, 5 had a couple of different versions. Like the Game Boy Advance version had the good translation. Like, no, that one never got localized, did it? I'm thinking of 6. Another battle one. Okay. That's probably a bunch of enemies, right? I think Edmund's probably the case here. If it wasn't for the Lancer, I'd take Kiara. I could take Jinako. No, I have Skadi, so you know. I could swap out Vlad. Do I remember? Okay, his bond's working on it. What about you, Avery? What are you at? Okay. Not bad. And Edmund? I think I have him. Yeah, okay. Working on that quartz. We can't fit in Anger without taking out Orion, so he's my other bond 10 person. They're all guys. Oh, Hercules too, I guess, but I've hardly used him at all in like the past year. Yes, I'm aware. I'm well aware indeed. The fox woman is up to something, isn't she? Then if I may, allow me to tell you something. Something of great importance. Oh, no. Of course, I would leave the decision of what to do with this information entirely in your capable hands. All I would humbly ask of you is your attention. That said, I must stress that depending on how things turn out, matters could grow very serious indeed. Why, what if my colleague, one of the foreign god's disciples intentionally sent here to help you, were to become the very sort of thing you cast out of your world? What's the fox up to? Please listen to us. The Lokapala are our enemy as well. We only came here in the hope of finding allies who could help us fight against them. Talk is cheap. Let's check of how many times someone claiming to be my friend betrayed me. Hey, look, she's back! She's fighting to protect us! We're saved! And those are Lokapala! Dang it, they finally found our village. Please, my lady, help us! The Lokapala showed up right after we got back to the village, and barring the gate and holding out until you arrived. There, you see? I knew you could. We knocked nicely. I knew you couldn't be trusted. What did I tell you? Misunderstandings only invite further misunderstandings. I've seen this sort of thing before, back in the clock tower. All my life, really. I'd look around one day and realize everyone had forsaken me, even though I didn't do anything wrong. Well, maybe that's not entirely accurate. It was the one time I ate a piece of cake. Sorry, hon, but your life story's gonna have to wait. Okay. The circumstances being what they are, she doesn't seem to be truly trying to kill us. But she's certainly very hard-headed. Her movements are as firm as her beliefs, it seems. Hey, Rama, are you feeling this too? I am. It's faint. But she definitely has the air of a divine spirit. Maybe she's a pseudo-servant like you? Good grief. No idiot had an expansive pantheon, but that can't be the answer for everything, can it? One does not generally run into a divine spirit at every corner, so to speak. Forget that. How do we get her to listen to us? We'll never get anywhere if we don't clean up this misunderstanding. I'm assuming she's related to the god Lakshmi. This is my guess anyway. Been telling her over and over, but she won't listen. Oh, well, are you gonna try to scale these walls? We'll need to do better than... Is that? Why'd you jump back onto the wall? Did someone show up? She seems to be looking at something far away. What's going on? Well, this is certainly less than optimal. I know you're in the midst of battle, but I strongly urge you to take note of your surroundings. Particularly what is behind you. Immediately. Behind us? What? Sacred beasts? Oh, wait, this pack looks kind of familiar. These the ones that passed us by earlier? Those are going in a different direction. Pretty sure they didn't notice us at all. Maybe there's something here that lured them this way? A different group from the sacred beasts we encountered earlier. All the times for them to show up. Now this is no coincidence. It only makes sense that the local Apollo would have the means to control them. They must be trying to make their way into our village and cleanse it. Especially since one of our elderly died this morning. Question mark? Begone, foul agents of the false god. You'll not be claiming our dead today. They do eat people. My, She does make for quite the striking figure, doesn't she? She certainly does. She must be the manifestation of a noble heroic spirit, here to guide the people of this place along the right path. Oh. Did she fall? What happened? Something knock her off the wall? No, looks to me like she just sort of lost her footing. Now she's wriggling around where she fell. Looks like her feet are stuck in some hole in the ground. Curses? Can't believe I fell right into one of the pitfalls we dug to prepare for the next Kali attack. She's adorable. Wait, do I have her? I'd go max level her immediately. Give me a moment, I'll be out of here in no time. Looks like they're mad now about all the dramatic tension evaporating. They could just be projecting there. We can't let the sacred beast hurt her while she's incapacitated. Let's take them down and keep her safe, Master. You know it. Get them, guys. Oh. Okay. Another battle. What was I? I was talking about FF5, right? Yeah, so I should have enough time to finish that before Endwalker comes out. Which, you know, December 4th, I think? It's like 3 or 4 weeks away. Something like that. 2 waves. Let's go ahead and just, you know, burn down the first wave immediately. I forget, can Edmund, like, double loop? Let's not use that yet. I think you can, right? With the 20% Mystic Code and Waiver. With only one Skadi, I should say. Maybe I need a Kaleidoscope to do that. We'll see. Oh, is this even gonna kill him? Nope. Close enough, though. Yeah, so... What do we talk about? I mean, I could talk about Squid Game more, I guess, but... I don't know, it just kind of made me miss Kaiji. I'm probably gonna watch Season 2 soon. I think I've already said that in a past episode, though. The glass hopping game really reminded me of Kaiji's balance beam arc. Didn't Kaiji even have something like that? Where like there's like an invisible platform or something? I vaguely recall something like that. I don't know. And like the resolution to that arc was like, oh yeah, I know glass real good. It felt kind of out of place to me. Squid Game's best thing going for it though were the characters. Like I talked about this last episode. Just I don't like grander plots in death games. Like you don't need to justify why there's this crazy game going. Just show me characters going crazy and killing each other. Well, not necessarily that. More show me character dynamics, which Squid Game did. Just like, why did that detective exist? Like in a world where Season 2 was never made, which isn't going to happen. Like his whole plot was pointless. Just feels weird. I mean, I guess it did exposize. What's the verb of exposition? Like the behind the scenes, but like still, like it's just that it didn't need to exist. I could use the charge to Noble Phantasm, but you know that's a long animation. Oh, this is gonna kill it anyway. Okay, good. It's nice. No bond up for Orion. We need to get, well, Artemis. Well, you know what I mean. You need to get the bond up to 5 to get the. She has 3 interludes actually, not just 2. Although maybe the 3rd one's not out yet. I don't know. All hostiles in our vicinity eliminated. Load in, everyone. Now do you understand we're not your enemy? Yes, I do. Not so foolish as to insist otherwise at this point. I see now that I was gravely mistaken. No one who would fight against the sacred beast could possibly be allies of the false god. I'm truly, sincerely sorry. I thank you for your assistance. Please tell me why you have come here. On second thought, it's only right that I tell you about myself first. Yes, you have a point. Alright then, let me first ask you this. Are you a divine spirit? Yes and no. I'm a servant, but right now, a goddess resides within my body, sharing her power with me. When I was first summoned to this land, she was already there inside me. There have been plenty of cases where a divine spirit would inhabit a person from the past to become a servant. Since heroic spirit servants are technically people from the past, I guess it makes sense that a divine spirit could inhabit one of them too. Though I definitely haven't heard of many cases where it happened quite like this. I expect it's because this god and I happen to share the same name. I believe having words, sounds, and names match is very significant when it comes to magecraft. Then again, I was originally given this name in the hope of receiving your blessing, so perhaps it isn't much of a coincidence after all. You don't say. Okay, that makes sense. So what's that god's name? Lakshmi. I am the Rani of Jhansi, a land which once existed in India, who was named for her. My name is Lakshmibai. Okay, end of section. Yeah. I'm not familiar with her. Or even the time period she was alive. Oh, 0 AP. Well then, let's get started. Still outside. Whoa. Lakshmibai? Oh, right where we left off. I'd like to think that anyone would be a bit embarrassed to recount the history of their own life, no matter how proud of that life they may be. So that's why Holmes has been unusually quiet. Alright then, I guess I'll... Lakshmibai is a hero from 19th century India known for her role in the Indian Rebellion. Is that... That's the 1800s. Was Britain in there by then? Oh, thanks for jumping in, Captain. Why don't you take it from here? Yeah, I guess they would have been, right? Despite being born to royalty, she took up a sword and led a small rebel army in order to protect her nation of Jhansi. She was known far and wide for her leadership and charisma. At the time, revolts were breaking out all across India, and there were all manner of different circumstances. When one small state tried to revolt, the neighboring nations would often end up siding with the British, isolating the rebels and cutting them off from working with like-minded people in other regions. But the Jhansi rebels managed to hold on to the very end. It was all thanks to their exceptional leader, Lakshmibai. I wouldn't call myself exceptional. I was just flailing around trying to hold everything together as best I could. Between Kunwar Singh, Tatya Tope, many others I could name, there are no end of leaders more talented than me. All that aside, you sound like you know a lot about our struggle. Are you Indian yourself? I'm nobody. Just another nameless. Doesn't matter where I'm from. I'm done now. Over and out. I believe his heroic spirit had been to India. I haven't heard whatever it's from. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's not. While we're at it, we should probably also go over your divine spirit, Lakshmi. I'm sure Ganesha and Rama know a lot more about her than I do. In Indian mythology, Lakshmi is known as the goddess of fortune, prosperity, beauty, and the consort of Vishnu. Right. That's right. And could it be Sita? Is that you? I'm an avatar of Vishnu, and Sita is an avatar of Lakshmi. Sita, are you in there? Sure, if you are, I'll be able to feel your presence. Guessing this is clear to all of you as well, given that her grip on my skull is strong enough that the bones are starting to crack. But unfortunately, I sense no trace of Sita inside her. Who is this man? Dancing on a woman he's never met before as if to propose to her. Do you mind if I break him? I understand how you feel, but please go easy on him. Rama has his own complicated history. I see. Suppose I can't blame him for misunderstanding. Should have been more precise. The goddess Lakshmi exists within me more as a power source than anything else. can barely sense her consciousness at all. It's almost as though her heart has been implanted in me to provide me with energy. Doubt my output can measure up to that of an unadulterated divine spirit. I'm afraid I'm not a manifestation of the goddess Lakshmi, so much as my core is that of the human, Rani Lakshmibai, with small elements of the goddess. Wasn't Rani the name of the girl from Fate Extra? Then, Sita really doesn't exist inside you, as I suspected. Right. Of course she doesn't. Now that I think about it, if she had, would have sensed her well before you introduced yourself. But I was not even able to tell that the deity within you was Lakshmi. You must have only her divine power, nothing of her consciousness. Ganesha didn't realize who you were either. Of course, that might be because he was never really very close to you, seeing how I saw you just as up there in the pantheon as his mom, Parvati. Ganesha? Is that, now that you mention it, I do sense a divine presence inside you. One I would never in a million years have guessed by looking at you. Yeah, I know, but it's true. Believe me, I spent pretty much this entire time wishing all this was just some weird joke. I am Rama, the king of Kosala. Surely you've heard of me, as well as my beloved Sita. Oh, of course. There's not a soul in India who doesn't know your name. Forgive me, I thought you were just a, unusually youthful young man who hadn't yet learned how to behave around a woman. Maybe now's a good time to share our side? Good point. We have a bunch of things we need to tell you about. Who we are, how we got here, what we're trying to do. It's a long story, but I hope you'll bear with us. And I think that about sums it up. Hold it! What about me? I thought you were saving the most important figure in our group for the end, so as to make a lasting impression. Ah, yes, this is Gordolf music, who I absolutely, positively, definitely didn't forget to introduce. Nope. As you can really tell from his sheer girth, his dignified statue, he's a commander-in-chief. Don't talk about Gordolf's girth. Indeed I am. The stout build is the mark of a true elite, after all. As the commanding officer here, I expect you to treat me with all due respect. I have one question for you. Are you British? Oh no! No, I'm not. Oh yeah, I guess he's Romanian then. What about you? Huh? Me? Oh, that'd be telling, hun. If you didn't know me better first. I suppose I can at least tell you that no, I'm not British either. They did spend a good bit of time at the clock tower. Wait, do we have someone British with us? Oh, Holmes. Well, there's one last person in our group I should introduce you to. Sorry, Holmes, the jig is up. Can't keep hiding forever. I assure you I was doing no such thing. I was only waiting for a more opportune moment once things had settled down. Good day, Miss Lakshmibai. Sherlock Holmes, detective, at your service. Are you British? Yes, I am. Oh. The Indian Rebellion was a war for India's independence against its colonizers, the British. Since Lakshmibai lost her life in that conflict, I imagine she has some strong feelings about it. I do get the impression there's someone else here with some connection to that. Mashu? Oh. Because, her Galahad. Well, I guess it's not my place to say anything here. I was only a few years old when the fighting broke out, so I can't personally apologize for my country's actions. No, it's alright. I'm sorry. That was rude of me. Oh, I was expecting how do you say your name? Penthesilea? There's little sense in my asking that. Just an old habit. One I can't seem to shake. You have nothing to apologize for. It's not for me to say whether you should or shouldn't feel that way. Nor is it for me to say whether you should hold on to those feelings or try to forget them. All I can say for sure is that our country's histories are intertwined. Certainly neither of us can pretend otherwise. This hadn't come up now. Horsey would no doubt have noticed the air of discomfort between us. Gone on to learn what happened between our countries for himself. There's any meaning to be found by having people from the past come together like this. Since the role we play servants, of course. I suspect it lies there. Agreed. I'll think of you as no more than a man by the name of Sherlock Holmes. Besides, under these circumstances, the more allies we have, the better. Then, does that mean you consider us allies? It was difficult to convince the people of Deval of the wrongness of the situation. Once they did, they agreed to work together to forge their own destiny. So why haven't they been deleted yet? The village here is now the basis for all such like-minded people. As you're all warriors fighting against God, just like us, I'd be honored if you fought at our side. It's a deal. Foe. Yes, the counterforce must have summoned you too. Have you been here long? Yes, it's been at least 10 days since I arrived. Then you must have been caught up in the world's recreation a number of times. How did you survive? God or not, you're making this entire hospital a major undertaking. Arjuna wouldn't change how he goes about it just because a servant's been added to the mix. So long as he doesn't think of you as unnecessary or defective, he just bring you back along with all the other people. It just galls me to think of how our very survival in this last belt is completely dependent on his absurdly arbitrary standards. It's natural for gods to be somewhat self-centered given their immense power, but Arjuna definitely takes it too far. Oh, speaking of which, Shuna's already got his eye on us. So if you join us, you're sure to wind up with the whole evil label. You won't be able to survive the world being remade anymore. That's fine. Could have only been a matter of time before you took notice of me anyway. Besides, you have a way to evade the destruction, yes? So if it comes to that, I'll be counting on your help. You mean the border? Yes, of course you'd be welcome to join us in there. Wouldn't you? The border is the last bastion of hope for all of humanity. You can't just go letting any old servant we meet on it. Or normal circumstances anyway. But in this case, I suppose we do have a fair handle on her true name and background. And it'd be a shame to lose a valuable ally so soon after finding one. Very well, I'll authorize you to entry to the border in case of emergency. Is this going to be like a Atalanta situation? Like, did we tell her we're trying to destroy the world? You have my gratitude. Of course, ideally, I hope to be quite finished with this place long before he even uses that preposterous noble phantasm of his again. You said it, honey. Fortunately, he only ever does that at the end of the Kali Yuga. So it'd just be peachy if we could put a stop to all this before then. So now that we've got a new ally and all, what's our next step? I've already got something in mind for that. There are risks involved, naturally, but the reward should be significant. Now that we're in the middle of the first, relatively peaceful Yuga, especially now that we have more allies, this would seem the perfect time to investigate one thing in particular. Big cube? What's that? Is it definitely not Mooncell? Remember that thing we've been wondering about ever since we came to this lost boat? It's the biggest, most mysterious thing here by far. It's got to contain some useful information. Now we want you guys to finally go and investigate it. God's Sky Border. End of chapter? Yeah, okay. That's a quartz. And what is this? Arrow? No. Oh, wow. Hero's proof. Wow. Oh, yeah, we're going straight there. Okay. So I know, I've looked at the length of some of the chapters. I know the next one is short. Yeah, one arrow. And the one after it is very, very long. So I was hoping to do this one today, but I'm feeling a bit tired, so I think I'm going to call it there. Maybe I can do them both tomorrow. I don't know. I'll probably have to split it up into 2 videos. But I'll be interested in seeing how that goes. Because I don't know what's with this thing. Why is this here? It's probably related to why Arjuna is like all the gods, right? That's my guess. Maybe BB accidentally dropped it here and Arjuna picked it up. I don't know. What should that actually be the answer? Anyways, I'll see you guys next time with some more Fake Grand Order. Goodbye.